Hi, I'm Molly Brogy. I'm a junior biomedical engineer.
I'm Angie Dodona. I am a junior. I'm a double major in political science and English with a minor in environmental science and policy.
Okay, so for the first couple questions, they're all about like feminism and stuff like that. So they're gonna be
Hell yeah.
wicked basic. So
Cool.
just kind of go off on them because I know you guys can and I know you guys like to talk. So,
I feel like Angie's gonna outspeak me.
so how did you find out about the concept of feminism? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was used as I thought it was an insult. My teacher in high school said, "Oh, that's a very feminist comment of you." And I was like, "Yo, Miss Brody, why are you coming at me like that?" And she was just like, "Oh, it's actually a comment. And it's a compliment. It's a good thing to be a feminist. It means like gender equality." And I was like, "Oh, like I fuck with that. That's cool. Thank you."
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Man.
I think my introduction to feminism wasn't really, it wasn't, I didn't know that it was feminism. I also had a teacher, my Spanish teacher in 8th grade. I ended up founding a gender studies club at my high school with her. She moved on to the high school, but a lot of what I learned from her I've come to realize is the basis of a lot of my intersectional feminist beliefs, but at the time I didn't know it was feminism.
Have you always been a feminist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I feel like there was a point in my life where I was like the male gaze mattered more to me than being a feminist, but it was very short lived. It was a very insecure middle school moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
this kind of goes on to the next question. Have you ever questioned your stance on feminism?
No.
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 Okay, never.
Yeah, I don't think it's questioning so much as, like, as time goes, you learn more, and that broadens your views and like leads you to challenge things that you believe. But I don't think it's really questioning things
Yeah.
that I believed.
You can't really question equality without something like.
Has coming to Union solidified or changed or done anything to your beliefs on feminism
It's just like
or feminism itself?
It just feels like there's not a lot of like very open feminists. Like the fact that like it feels like no one's super. The fact that we were both asked to be interviewed by more than one person because they can't think of another female to do a feminist interview is super upsetting. And like, yes, I was in charge of women's union since my freshman year, but I never really wanted that position. It was put upon me because our president left and no one was going to take the position, and it's an important club that needed to exist. And now that I feel like it's like functioning and it's in a good place, I can leave it so I can pursue other things, even though I am a feminist. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I just really zoned out. I think that coming to Union, I think that in high school I surrounded myself with a bubble of people who thought very similarly to myself. And I think it's easy to kind of lull yourself into feeling like, well, like most people are fairly decent with their beliefs. And then I came here and I was like, no, they're not.
They're not.
A lot of people don't even hit basic requirements for moral standards that I would expect them to.
Yeah, facts.
Is everyone in your family a feminist?
Yeah, well, actually, we even say my dad thinks women are better than men, and that's probably why I respect him. You know? Do you ever feel that way?
So here's just a follow-up
That's
question.
that's beyond
Do you
feminism.
think of feminism as gender equality? Or
It is gender equality.
It is gender
My
equality.
dad goes beyond being a feminist because he thinks women are inherently better than men.
So
and
do
I'm
you
like,
think
Dad,
do you
I
think that's
appreciate you.
okay to do, saying that women are better than men, to kind
I'm-
of put off that
see,
stigma?
I'm not gonna say that. But if my dad wants to say women give birth, they're life givers, they carry the majority of the weight, they carry the burden of the world on their back, like I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna fight him in
Yeah.
him saying that I'm inherently better. Like
What?
Narcissism, man.
narcissism is a curse. It's okay. What do you?
Well, this is kind of going back to you being involved with you. Like, how involved on campus with feminism have you been, or just being.
Yeah, I've been, minorly involved in women's union. Like, I haven't held any board role or anything like that. I think in a lot of my life, the way that I live my feminism is largely through individual interactions with people.
Yeah.
I think I'm never hesitant to speak on what I believe, and I think that that's the largest way that plays through in my life.
You've already talked.
Yeah, I'm in charge of women's union to a certain extent.
And then this is kind of just like, have you ever been treated differently at Union College because you're a woman in like a social or academic setting?
Can I hit
And
this?
can you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone,
and then,
let's fucking go.
Go
So,
for it.
I study engineering.
That's it.
Thank you.
End of sentence. Like, the majority of my classes, up until very recently, have been male-dominated. I am currently working on a project in the computer science class with a group of 5 other guys. Most of my professors are male, and I find that either people are surprised that I'm studying what I'm studying, and when I tell them, I'm studying, BME, they're like, oh, wow, good for you, that's a challenge. And like, I have guy friends who will be like, yeah, and I study mechanical engineering. People are like, cool. Okay, I'm like, lit. And then there's just like being spoken over in classes, being like, engineering is a lot of group projects, like designing things together, and just so often like your thoughts or your concepts are just totally invalidated, just not even considered. And then someone else, like one of the other guys in the group, will put forth the same idea as you, but like 20 minutes later, and they'll be like, yeah, we're doing this, and you're like, lit.
Yeah, I would say English is super female dominated, but political science it depends. It's super interesting in the fact that like U.S. politics is very male heavy, but like with political.
International comparative, it's like a lot of
Oh,
females.
no, it's mostly theory.
Oh, really?
It's the
I
theory
find
classes that
I
are
find
most-
international. Lots of women are taking those classes.
Some
Yeah.
international, but the U.S. politics, I have avoided U.S. politics except for my intro class. Like, we're supposed to take 4 different, because you're poli-sci, it's international, comparative, U.S. theory. And you only do 3 of 4, so I completely dodged a bullet with U.S. politics because we live in an ethnocentric society where I don't really feel like we repeat U.S. politics so many times over and over again, and it's so rooted in colonial. It's basically what I'm trying to say is that like you do get mansplained in the classroom when it's this male-dominated place, but at the same time, like I'm super, like I just like don't take that shit, and like I think I kind of scare my male contemporaries because like I don't know, I have confidence, and I don't think they're used to seeing women with confidence who do the readings and have legitimate arguments rooted in textual evidence. Like, you can't fight.
Fact.
You can't fight this. Like, just like if you say a citation in class, there's no real argument. Like, you can try, but you're gonna lose, and you're gonna look dumb, and I'm gonna be the person to make you look dumb. I wonder why people are scared of me.
Huh, interesting.
That's horrifying. People are gonna see you.
And going back to that socially, do you think you've been treated differently coming to Union? Or?
You just look at frat culture.
Yeah.
Do you mean like in general, or like?
Just like in general, we can talk about Greek life just since it's so dominant on Union's campus.
Honestly, no.
Okay.
Really?
I come from a upper middle class white yeehaw town, so this doesn't feel different than that to me.
Okay, now we're kind of moving on to sexuality. When and how did you both come out as bisexual?
Well, I've only come out to like 4 people, so
Oh,
that's fine. Hey guys,
GSW class.
I like girls. They're pretty.
this is it right now.
I haven't come out to my family.
Oh, really diving into this interview right now.
So I came out to my boyfriend like last spring in a very casual conversation. I came out to you via text. It was like, the more time that goes by, the more I think about girls, man.
Good shit.
I don't know. I just kind of would be like, hey, I like girls.
Great.
Oh, me.
Take it away.
I think it's like so classic. It's like I figured out my freshman year of college. You know, everyone falls in love with their RA, right? It just changes things.
West second floor looking at you.
Yeah, so I came home winter break, like we weren't even together, but I was like, I figured something out about myself, and I have a super supportive family, and my mom supports like my gay friends. I was like, oh, this will be chill. Like, I discovered something about myself. My parents are gonna be so excited. I told my dad in the car, and he was like, wow, so you're like a carpet muncher now, and I was like,
Oh my.
fuck. Like, but he meant it in like a supportive way, and I was like, Dad, I don't think that's not a good term, carpet muncher.
Like, sure, I'll do it.
Definitely.
Even
It's
at your
definitely-
daughter.
It's
Like,
definitely like a slur. I know my dad's like, I get that sense of humor from him. It's that
It's tough. But, like,
it explains a lot in
context,
how
it was like a,
I turned out,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, so told my dad. He was actually pretty supportive, but I think he thinks it's a phase. And then my mom, for a whole year, she had a really difficult time. I think especially with being bisexual, she's like, well, you have a choice between men and women, so why are you choosing this more difficult path for yourself? And I've only really come out to like, I haven't told like all of my family, because I don't think everyone needs, unless I'm getting married to a girl, I just don't see putting that stress on like my papu, who's like my grandpa, who's very old and wouldn't understand. He'd love me, but I just don't know if it's worth going there with him. But like since then, it's been I guess 3 years since I'm out. I'm an ally trainer, so I train people on how to be like sensitive about LGBTQIA plus issues, and I have ally hours on Thursdays from 7 to 8 in Reamer 301 if you want to talk about sexuality, some gay shit. We've reclaimed the word gay, by the way. We can reclaim any word because we are gay, so it's really good.
this bitch.
um,
This is for school, sorry. I'm just swear.
Oh, I've heard so much though.
Swear.
Sword.
Yeah.
English
Yeah.
majors.
Okay, sorry, carry on.
do you
just trying to-
feel that Union's campus is accepting of sexual differences?
Not at all.
No,
This
not at
place
all.
is straight as fuck. It's horrifying. Do you know how hard it is to meet gay people here?
Well, I think, like, to the question, in social scenarios, you definitely are treated differently if people are like, oh, what? And you're like, this is like 5th grade. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and like I did date a girl on this campus for like a year and a half, and now everyone just thinks I'm a lesbian now because they're not aware of the spectrum, or if there is a spectrum, it's like, you're either gay or you're not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you can be gay and like both, and they're just like,
No. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, bitch.
short. Okay, sure,
Let
honey.
me know when you make up your mind, honey.
Literally, if someone asked me to make a choice again, Jesus Christ, you don't have to choose.
This is, I think, Angie, you're going to like this question. You're going to like this question, too. It's not even a question. It's just, like, something I'm just going to ask you to explain.
Okay.
Just talk about privilege on Union College's campus.
I'll let
No.
Angie just take this. I'm just gonna. My grandma just texted me. I'm gonna text my grandma back while Angie takes this question.
This is Angie's favorite thing to talk about.
You think that's my favorite thing to talk about?
I
Let's
think
talk about
environmental
Afrofuturism in the
racism.
let's talk about environmental
Okay,
racism.
come on,
Let's talk about Afrofuturism in the context of the
Talk about
American
privilege.
privilege. Okay.
This is for homework.
Okay. God, I haven't no one's asked me this. Like I usually just force it upon others, so this is just like privilege.
Let's
You
define
force
privilege.
Let's define privilege. Okay, can I do this? Yeah. Okay, privilege is something that you're inherently born with in the body that you were born into. I think it's not something that you control. It's just something that you live with and you grow with. So there's white privilege, there's cisgender privilege, there's heteronormative privilege. There's a privilege in being with the norm. And when you're outside of this norm, you're othered, and in that othering, you have less privilege. And recognize, so I am a white cisgender woman who goes to Union College. Everyone at the school has some form of privilege. Everyone has an element of privilege in their life. The fact that you're able-bodied is a
Going to
privilege.
a university or an institution
Exactly.
of secondary education like this is privilege.
Yeah, and that privilege allows you different pathways and more open doors than other groups of people, and that's something that's not up for argument, and it's just a fact of our inherently racist, homophobic, transphobic society that we're in right now. It's getting better, but like the fact that we can have this conversation means it's getting better.
Yeah.
But it's not, you shouldn't feel bad for having your privilege. You just need to be aware of your privilege and use it to help others,
Yeah.
so we can all have an even playing field at some point.
Yeah. So then, kind of going off of that, can you talk about privilege in Greek life? I know those two usually come up when you have this conversation, so.
Privilege in Greek life? But you need to have a certain amount of money to join Greek life. What Greek life is it's majority white. It's majority white female, but we still have more frats than sororities on this campus. I don't really have anything against Greek life. It's just, it's panhouse. Like, they're sexist. And every girl in a sorority knows that. Everyone knows the boys get away with so much more than the girls do. If the girls just wear like a superhero cape, they're in trouble. And like Tri Delta shut down now for doing what? Like, what have they done? Really? Nothing.
Thank you.